Hi, this is Mohit from Carlson division of Shotham Instrument Private Limited. Today we are going to discuss about Geology module of Carlson software. Carlson Geology 2016, the complete geologic modeling package for both stratigraphic and block modeling. Use Carlson Geology to manage drill hole data, calculate strata model, block models, quantities and qualities. The process from importing drill holes, validating the data and modeling the ore to reserve calculation is seamless. For drill holes, Carlson Geology enables users to produce accurate models with automated data, turn out reports quickly and easily. It supports all major geologic modeling techniques including triangulation, inverse distance, rigging, polynomial with least squares. Calculating the reserve for each pit and bench instantly with the 3D surface history and play it back in real time with 3D mine simulation. The point on which we are going to focus today: how to work with Carlson software, how to define drill hole configuration, how to define attributes and lookup database, how to import seam and quality data in Carlson, how to work with different types of import functions in Carlson Geology. I would likely start with the software application on Carlson Mining 2016 with IntelliCAD 8.1 of 64-bit. Carlson is also available for 32, 64 and even for your Mac operating system. Here is the workspace of Carlson Mining 2016 with IntelliCAD. You can see that the origin or XY axis, the model layout, preview command window and your different toolbars which are going to be used in Carlson. The commands which we are going to use in Carlson Geology 2016 is under the drill hole menu option. First thing, we have to define a drill hole configuration file which comes under the define drill hole option. I click on this. I just have to select my directory and click on my configuration file. Once you click on configuration, it will appear for your screen for defining a drill hole to define its property. So on the screen you can simply see that I have to define my key density. This is a key density or the average density value which has to be defined for and which is going to be used at the time of mine reserve studies when you are going to estimate your how much ore or how much OB or how much coal content you are having. So you have to define this key density in this column. Next to it, then there is an option for your units, either it's inch or it's feet in feet or meter. You can select one of those. I will select feet, and then just you have to save it as in the same extension where your drill hole configuration file is. You can simply, if you want to change the directory, you can click on browse and you can change the file in whatever the way you want to have. I will named it as drill hole configuration as drill hole config. So it is going to have an extension of .ch format. I will click on save. I will leave this key density on this value and click on OK. So now my drill hole properties are being defined in my drill hole configuration file. I can simply now import my drill hole, but before going to import your drill hole, you have to define your lookup database, which I am going to do now. In Carlson Lookup Database, you can simply define your types of drill hole, whether it's rotary or it's plain, or whether it's your core hole, and whatever the name you want to define it. You can simply name it in this option. I select on my Carlson tables first, and then there is drill hole types. So I can select my any of my drill hole property which you are having. Suppose it's an oil well, so you can simply select your oil well, gas well, water well. We were having different by default option. For this time I will select my drill hole. We were having a big symbol library for this. You can select any of these symbols. I will simply have a double click on this and I will select any of my symbol, whichever suits you. You can simply select one of these. I will select symbol number 34, and this is my symbol number 34 and having a size of 50. Because we have selected the size or the units in feet and meter, so this size is going to be of 50 meter of the drill hole. So I will make it suppose for 20. and the layer which has to be defined, it's of drill hole 1. If you want to change, you can simply click on this and you can add any of your drill hole name. I click on OK, cancel, and my default drill hole 1 is my layer. I can select my color, whatever the color you want to have your drill hole, so you can select it and simply click on OK, and your color is going to be shown for the drill hole in this. I can save this file. So this file is having an extension of LUP, that is Lookup Database. I will select on my Lookup Database, so I will click on Lookup and hit on Save. So in the background means you can check out that in your webinar folder you are having DWG file, that is the coordinate file, data path file, then this is your lookup database file which is .lup, and for drill hole configuration it is .ch values. I click on OK and my drill hole properties are being saved. Now I can finally import my drill hole. So I will click on drill hole menu, importing of drill hole, and drill hole import. In drill hole import, Carlson can support multiple types of file, means whatever the formats you were having, you can import it. For the basic format we were having .csv or the Excel file, you can simply go for custom import formatter and it will select your by default files, that is of your CSV. If you are having some ASCII files, so you can select your Carlson standard text or .ascii files. If there is any standard database you are having with yourself, so you can select your ODBC, that is for the Carlson, so you can import these files from here. And because I am having my CSV file, so I have to choose my custom import formatter. But suppose if you are having other even softwares like Minex or Vulkan or Serpec, so you can choose other specific format, and in this you are having freedom to choose that whichever the software you were using. Such as we were having in there is a Minex format, so you can simply click on this and it can import all your Minex data inside the Carlson. Similarly, we also have added this SCCL format last time when we visited to SCCL for their convenience. So if you want to have any kind of customization, so we can do that. I will click on exit and I again select my ch import properties. I will select my custom import formatter. If I am having separate drill hole files or the strata files, so I can choose accordingly, because I am having my seam, quality and collar separately, so I can choose yes for my separate drill hole and strata file. Suppose if I don't have any separate file, they all are like quality and strata are in a single file, so I have to select on no, and it will automatically select your strata name and everything from that file. I will click on yes, and then you can see that I can simply add my CSV file wherever it was. I saved it on desktop for my convenience, so I can go up and choose whatever the files I am having. These are the same file which I showed to you, that this one having drill hole, X, Y, Z, depth of drill hole, azimuth and dip angles. You can simply import these files inside this column and easily work on those. Similarly, I am having the same seam data which I showed to you previously, and my quality data. So I just click on my collar file for my collar data, then it asks you for defining the strata data file or the seam file. So I select on my seam file and I will work accordingly. So you can see that there is the same preview window which I am having. Suppose if I show you in Excel sheet, so I am having BH code, so it can be seen in the preview window. It's BH code, departure for departure value or XY, X. This one is latitude for Z, RL is for Z or like the total depth or the log depth. Depth drill is like up to what depth they have gone for drilling. So this one is your surface elevation and this one is your total depth of drill hole. This one is your azimuth value and dip angle values. I can minimize. In Carlson, you can simply import your drill hole files by defining their names and property, that what were the methods and how the steps are going on. So suppose if I'm having my first point as BH code, which is my drill hole name, so I will click on drill hole name and that will resemble my BH code. I'm having some by default available formats, so I can choose from them. If you don't have any of these, such as I have to enter these drill and azimuth values and depth, because I don't have in this column, so I can create it by having an adding of attributes. So what I will do, for departure I will select my easting, for latitude I will select my northing, and for surface elevation I will select my surface elevation. So these four are going to be resembled as BH code for drill hole name, departure for my easting, latitude for my northing, surface elevation for RL. For the total depth, I don't have any property or like any attribute predefined in my available column, so I will select add attribute and I will select as TD, which resembles my total depth. I'll click on OK, so you can see that a new format has been added, which resembles your depth drill. So it totally depends on the sequence in which you are going to give it. Suppose if you give drill hole total depth on the top and then surface elevation at the bottom, so the order has been changed, so the software was unable to identify that which one resembles what. Similarly, I will add my azimuth, but before adding azimuth I can check that my all azimuth values are at 0, 0, 0, 0 and yeah, it's 0. And similarly my dip angle is also at -90. So what I can do, I can simply skip those files if I want to, and if you want to add those, so you can simply add an attribute and you can define it inside. I will select on skip. There is two things which I have to skip. One is my azimuth and one is my dip angle, so I will skip those. So I had all my formats which has to be imported inside. Second thing which I have to make sure is the header lines which has to be skipped. So I will select accordingly. Suppose this is my header line. If I'm having two headers, so I can select it 2. If I'm having a single header line, so I can select it 1, so that the software could know that from after skipping first line there is the drill hole data which is being started for the following up. I will click on OK, and then similarly I have to define my seam data which I'm having with me. It's like my drill hole number, from and to, key, non-key, strata and seam name. I will unselect all these options and I will select only those which were required for importing of drill hole data. So I will select my drill hole name. Then there is a strata top depth, bottom depth, strata key and non-key. Then there is strata name and bed name. Bed name is resemble as the seam name, so I can make it as this. So I think that means there is some problem with the Excel. So what I will do, I will change this order. I will make bed name as my strata, that is of coal or non-coal material. Seam will resemble these seam codes which I am having, like 4, 5, 6 or 7, whatever it was. I forget to tell you about saving this dialog box for every type of import extension. Suppose if you are going to import your caller and you want to make these settings, instead of like updating every time, you just update once and you can simply click on save as, and it will save as, suppose this one is of seam or lithology, so I can go for lithology. So this one is going to have an extension of IMP. I can save, and my same extension is going to be saved in this format. Suppose you are going to again get a new drill hole to be imported in these used formats, so you can simply click on load and select on that format, and when you click on open, so you will see that those were the same thing which you defined previously in your previous data. So again I have to skip my first line because first one is my header line, and when I hit on OK, so it will directly import your drill holes. At the bottom in command preview window, you can see that I'm having how many, it's like reading core hole 319 and creating drill holes. So totally imported drill hole are 157 in number. When I hit on double click on my scroll button, you can see on screen my drill holes are to be imported. The symbol which I defined it's SPT34, so it's resemble the same one which I showed you, and the color which I told them to place it inside, so it's red with the layer name drill hole 1. I can simply zoom in out and visualize all my data on my screen. If you want to create a boundary or border, you can simply create a boundary. There is an option, quick option, that is of shrink wrap entries, in which you can create a 2D polyline around your objects. I can select on that and you can see that it's instantly worked, and it shows me like where my point lies. I can create a boundary so that I can make sure that where my points are. While importing of your drill hole entries, you can easily find out that these are the drill holes which has to be entered inside. When I click on the edges of these drill holes, so you can see the properties even, like they were having for OB, that is your strata. This one is of your OB of having this thickness. There is the key content or the coal material which is of 1.05 and other properties accordingly. Because I didn't import my quality data, so that's why this dialog box is being unchecked. So what I can do, I can simply import my quality also. Before importing, I can show you, like if I click on edit attribute, so the attribute which I skipped, that is azimuth and depth values from my collar data, because they are like the neutral, because they are 000 for each and every drill hole, for all 157 drill holes. So I can simply keep skipping those, and except that I am having my surface elevation, my total depth, my northing and my easting. So you can see my northing and easting, I'm having my drill hole values or drill hole number. It's like this drill hole numbered as 156. Similarly, if I click on the other one, I select, so this one is of 41, drill hole number 41. I can save. If you want to change anything inside, so you can simply place it in whatever the way, like inserting anything. You can insert, update your drill hole, and it can be inserted inside. In this you can see that it shows you, like, what are the contents you were having. It's having at what depth and how much depth is it going to be, such as you can see that depth is keep increasing while going downside. It's like 415, 434, 445 and whatever it was. So this is my main OB content which I'm having with me, and at the bottom or at the last you can see that 26, it is also having some key code which I can zoom in and maybe I can show you where it is. Yeah, this area. So this one is my coal, which you can see that when I click on this area, so it shows you like it's having a thickness of 1.28 meter at a bottom elevation of -175 from the ground level. This is my total depth of the drill hole, and this is my strata name. So you can select as per your requirement, whatever you want to define, however you want to define. You can simply check out that which resembles what. Suppose if I click on in the middle, so this one resembles my OB data. If I click on this, so this is my 18. You can see the difference between the thickness. This one is of 1.16, this one is of 2.67. Whichever your key contents are, whichever your coal contents are, you can simply click on it. I will select cancel, and I again zoom out my screen so that I can see all my drill hole entries. I will simply go to my the importing of quality data, and I will import my qualities. I hit on all. You can see my preview window in which I am giving the commands which I am having. So I click on all and select all my drill hole entries. Or what you can do, like in AutoCAD, which we were doing, we select, simply drag and drop, and once you select it, it shows you at the bottom that total entities which are selected in the set are 157. I hit on OK. I click on SF over, that is my quality data, which I can show you in this file. So this is my file name, SF over, and Carlson, that's in CSV format. It's having the same feature like BH code from 2, effective thickness, UHV, grade, strata, same name. I hit on this, and now I can import in, means whatever the way I can. So what I will do, I will remove all these options which are already being installed inside, and I will enter as my requirement. So I will do one thing, such as first one, again resembling drill hole name, from and to, so I can select sample top depth and sample bottom depth. Then I have to define my effective thickness, so I can select my sample thickness. After that, we have to define UHV, grade, strata and seam, but I don't have any of these properties, so I will do one thing. I will add the new attributes such as my UHV. I click on UHV. I click on my grade. I click on my strata. Strata, I'm having my strata and seam name. So I will select my strata the same way in which I have done previously. So I will select my strata as bed and seam as strata name. I will hit on save, and I can simply make it sure like it's of quality, because it's my quality data, so it will again saved as the same one like the litho data. I can save. I have to skip one header line, and when I click on OK, so you can see that the new quality values has been added, and those qualities are around 6296 quality values which are imported for your drill hole entries. Now when I click on these drill holes at the edges, you can see that now the data has been selected, like which one is your quality data, which one is your non-quality data. You can simply select and observe that how it's going to be worked on. I can simply drag and drop how it works, and you can find all your quality data. You can also visualize your all drill hole data from, there is a new option that is named as drill hole data sheet, in which you can observe all your files in a same window. I select on drill hole data sheet, click on selection, hit enter, and you can see that I'm having my name, northing and easting, and different elevations and other properties. When I click on these, you can see that the key content is having UHV and other values. Similarly, whatever the way you want to have, so you can add it. This one is having UHV this, but there is some problem with the grade values, I think. So I will check my grades. No, when I select any of my drill hole entry, still it's having my quality feature. And what I will do, I will define my attributes, in which I have to define like which attribute resembles what, either it's text or alphanumeric. So I have to define those things in this property. I select my define attributes, I click on reading of drill holes and hit OK. So right now I don't have any attributes. I again import my quality, over, and click on OK. So again I had my properties which are being defined in the screen. I hit on drill hole data, not drill hole in data sheet. So now I will click on attributes, reading of drill holes, and I click on OK. you can see that I'm having two different values. One is my grade and one is the UHV. When I see in my file data, so you can see that grade are having alphabetical values, and whether UHV is having means numeric values only. So I just have to make sure that what values has to be for what. So if there is any alphanumeric, you can simply select on string. If there is any numeric average by volume, so I will keep it in this way so that it knows that this file is only of a numeric values. So I click on OK, and then I save, or save as, whatever the way you want to have. So your attribute is going to be saved in .atr extension in your webinar folder. I click on attribute, hit on save, and my drill holes are being saved. Once I observe my drill hole data sheet, and before that I just have to regenerate. So I will click on regenerate and redraw, and then I hit on my spreadsheet and selecting of spreadsheet. So you can see still I don't have any grade values. Wow, I don't know why it doesn't have. I will do the same step again. I hit on, still it's having my quality data. Now I can check out. No, now they don't have any quality data. I will select my drill hole, and now I can check my attributes. So this one are my attributes. I will save as by the same name in the same directory. If you have some other format in which you want to save it, so you can select load and can define any of your attributes. I will hit on exit, and yeah, now what I can do, I can simply import my qualities, hit enter, and I can select my SF over. I'm having these same things, just make sure that these are the same, such as BH code for drill hole name, from for top depth, 2 for bottom depth, ETH for sample thickness, UHV for your heat values, grade, strata, and seam name. I will hit on OK, and yes, my drill holes are being connected. Was 2-3 है ना बार बार. So yep, now I think that my UHV values has been done. I will click on importing. I can select my drill hole data sheet, click on OK, select. Now when I click on these, I still have those values. I select my defining of attribute. Again, I will make sure my UH values are of string. Should be like reading of drill holes. Then save as for my attribute. Yes, and exit. I select my CH import 2. Hit on OK. So now I can see that my drill holes are again being imported, and when I see inside these, so I'm having my quality data, attributes. So yeah, now I now will again select my drill hole data sheet and hit on OK. Still it doesn't work. Yeah. So once you imported your drill holes and quality data, you can easily visualize your drill holes in your 3D, in 2D, or whatever the way you want to have. You can create your fence diagram, you can create your volume calculations and everything. So what I will do, I will simply click on draw a geologic column for a single drill hole entry, and in this I will make it for 3D. I will select on 3D, click on OK, and I will select one of these drill holes supposedly, and I will define my attribute to be displayed is this. Click on OK. So you can see that there is process has been going on at the back side, and once it's done, so now it's completed. In Carlson you can simply visualize your drill holes in view. There is an option which is having 3D viewer window, in which you can simply select your drawing, enter, and you can see the drill holes to be in 3D format. I can simply apply surfaces. If you want to hide, you can hide it, and in this way you can easily visualize your drill hole entries. Because I didn't selected the text content in which it resembles you, like which one is the key content and which one is non-key, so that's why it's unable to show you up in the screen. But that's what we can do in this software. Totally depend on how you want to work and what you want to work inside, and it can work for you. Similarly, if there is any surfaces, if you want to add any surface, so you can add any of these surfaces from this toolbar. We were having specific command for adding surface, which is exclusively new for Carlson 2016, so you can add your surfaces at any time.